Let's get an update then on the elections in India. Indian shares have plunged to over 8% as vote counting trends show Prime Minister Narendra Modi's alliance falling short of an anticipated landslide victory. Now, the seven-phase vote began on April 19th and was held in scorching summer heat in many parts of the country. Over 600 million registered voters cast their ballot in the general election that concluded on June 1st. For the latest now, SABC News correspondent Ishan Garg joins us. Ishan, thank you so much and good afternoon. So early trends show Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP-led alliance leading in more than 200 seats. Just give us the latest.
Absolutely. There was a prediction of a massive landslide victory for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party and its partners, but it looks like it's not going to be a landslide. In fact, Prime Minister Modi's party itself, the Bharatiya Janata Party, could very well fall short of the majority mark. Now, these elections are being held for India's lower house of 543 seats, which means the majority mark is at 272. Prime Minister Modi's party by itself is going to miss that mark. The biggest story here seems to be the resurgence of India's massive parties, a massive coalition of parties which have blamed Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP for allegedly cracking down on dissent, suppressing freedom of speech, and also not taking action on against India's minorities, particularly Muslims. All these issues raised by the opposition parties have resonated, though it needs to be made clear that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP, along with his alliance, they seem poised to form a government once again, and it will be a very on which Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be winning a record third term. This has once in India's history, so even though the opposition parties have performed relatively well, it looks set to make history.
And of course, just looking at, the markets and how they are reacting, with Indian shares having plunged to over 8%. What's the reaction been to that?
Well, when the counting started early in the morning in India, we saw a massive volatility in the share market. This kind of volatility has not been seen in the Indian market since 2020, when Indian government imposed a massive lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to massive disruptions in the industrial sector, which led to a huge crash in the stock market. It's even being compared to the stock market crisis of the 2008, only in terms of the value of money that's been lost just on this day. There's been a huge amount of volatility. A lot of the benchmark indices, they've fallen by upwards of 5 to 6%, suggesting that the markets were clearly anticipating a landslide victory for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but that hasn't been the case so far. But a lot of the analysts are pointing out that the results that we are likely to see will result still in a BJP government, which will mean that the markets may calm back when they open once again when they next open once again. But for now, a lot of investors in the Indian market, they have lost billions of dollars.
All right, thank you so much for that, Ishan. Of course, just giving us the update in terms of what is currently happening with the Indian elections. Our correspondent there, Ishan Garg.